Welcome to qnawire.
If a scuba diver fills his lungs to full capacity of 5.5 liters when 8 meters below the surface, to what volume would his lungs expand if he quickly rose to the surface? Is this advisable? So we're going to start from our ideal gas law. So PV equals nRT. So pressure times volume is equal to number of moles, ideal gas constant T. And from that, we can get to, by taking two copies of this and dividing through, we have P1 over P2 dot V1 over V2 is equal to N1 over N2 dot T1 over T2. Now, in this case, we can assume that the amount of air is the same, and as is the temperature, because we're not given this information in the question. So one has to assume that N1 equals N2 and T1 equals T2. So they're equal to 1, both of these fractions. So that gives us, so we're asked to find a volume, so we're going to make volume the subject of this equation. So we have V1 is equal to V2 dot V2 dot P2 over P1. And so we know that the pressure P1, the pressure at the surface level of the ocean or sea or whatever. So we have P1 is equal to 1 atm. A piece of information that you need that isn't in the question. So the change in pressure of the sea as you go down, delta P is equal to 0.1 approximately. It's about, actually the real figure is 0.0987, but we are using an approximation atm per meter. So this is the change of pressure as you go down in the sea. Every meter you go down, you increase the pressure by 0.1 atm. So that gives us P2 is equal to 1 plus 8 times 0.1 equals 1.8 atm. And obviously we've been given that V2 is equal to 5.5 liters. And then that gives us V1 is equal to, so substituting in these three numbers here, we get that V1, or volume at the surface, is equal to 9.9 liters. So that's a doubling in capacity, which would be fatal. So, I mean, if you were contemplating as to whether this is advisable, I mean, if you do think it's advisable, here is the number for Samaritans, and I would advise giving them a call if you think that this is an advisable thing to do. It certainly wouldn't be compatible with life.